What's up guys, Houndish here, and today Destiny Rising has been officially announced, and yes, this is the Destiny mobile game which rumours have been circulating about for quite a while. Safe to say, it's real, and today we get the reveal for it. So, I should mention up front, I was fortunate enough to get a brief preview of this game a few days ago, which is being developed by NetEase, and while Bungie are, of course, in partnership with NetEase, according to devs, Bungie themselves have not been heavily involved with the development, at least not in any significant capacity. And I should say as well, I have not played this new title yet, so I've more or less been able to see what you guys are seeing today, although I do have some additional insights. So we're going to talk about what this is, gameplay, rewards, and more in the video, and where better to start than by checking out the full trailer. So here we go.
It is time to embrace your destiny.
So there we go, pretty juicy trailer right there. The game looking very good for a mobile game. Of course, when we actually get to play it on mobile, we'll see how it performs. From speaking to the devs, I should say, currently this is planned to be mobile only, so unlike some mobile games, there won't be a PC version as well, as far as we know. We also asked when we had the press reveal for it, whether there would be any sort of crossover or integration with the full Destiny game, and the devs didn't give too much of an insight there, other than saying that this is a standalone title, so I wouldn't necessarily expect there to be any direct integration with Destiny 2 in any capacity. In that trailer though, you will have noticed some new abilities, and yes, there are new supers, abilities, and even weapons, including exotics and a new rarity of weapon, which they're calling Mythic, such as an auto crossbow that the devs teased to us in the presentation. So there are some interesting components to this, and from the press release they say the iconic FPS is coming to mobile. Choose between the highly immersive first-person view or a new fully third-person action view, and play with touchscreen or compatible controller precision. Importantly, when it comes to Destiny Rising, we won't be playing our own Guardians that we sort of progress and level up over time, but instead we're playing kind of hero characters based on the legends of the Destiny universe. Some of them familiar, you'll notice Ikora in the artwork right there, and they say there'll be dynamic PvE and PvP game modes, with a wide array of modes such as campaign missions, 6-player co-op strikes, and we'll be able to play with our friends, teammates, and build strong clans, while exploring the Earth after the collapse. So interestingly, this game is actually set before the events of Destiny, or Destiny 2, and we'll journey through a world fighting back against the darkness from the Sanctuary of Haven, which is essentially the tower environment in the last city, but it's before the tower was actually built. And primarily, this will be centered on Earth, so at launch at least, the game won't take us to various different worlds on other planets. Most of it is going to be on Earth. And there's an image they share right here of a bunch of weapons that will be featured in Destiny Rising, where we'll actually be in the era of the Iron Lords. So some of these weapons are very reminiscent of the Year 3 Iron Banner weapons from Destiny 1, which is pretty interesting. Importantly, the game will still be a looter shooter though. Again, there'll be weapons of various different rarities, so there are rare, legendary, and exotic weapons, as well as that new Mythic variant. And the game will indeed feature a lot of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 exotics. And again, given that the devs refer to this as a looter shooter, there'll be plenty of rewards that we can earn by actually playing the game. That is at least the assumption. I can't say for certain, or to any degree really, to what extent microtransactions will actually feature into this game. Presumably they will, because it's a free-to-play mobile game by NetEase, but that's something I don't have any details on at the moment. There will be an opportunity for at least some of us to actually play this though, as there's a closed alpha test which begins at the 1st of November, and players can register for that by visiting Destiny Rising's homepage. So I'm going to link that down below in the description box. I believe that closed alpha will actually be Canada and the US only, so if you're in Europe, like I am, there won't necessarily be an opportunity to actually play the alpha test, although presumably the full launch of the game will be global. For a quick breakdown of the trailer though, that we can see right here, there's some Iron Lord themed armor immediately off the bat, and we can see this is Haven, the new hub, which more or less I believe is set at the site of what becomes the tower later on, so we're next to the Traveler still. We see certain characters like Ikora Rey, and again, Iron Lords will feature into this quite heavily, being some of the earliest impactful Guardians or Lightbearers, which is what they're actually referred to in this, as again, the term Guardian hadn't been adopted yet at this point in history. We can actually see a series of very interesting weapons here though. There's an Aegis shield. You'll notice Izanagi's burden in there as well. And a cool shot here where they're actually building the colony ships that we of course see in the Cosmodrome in Destiny. And then there are various different enemy environments. So we see some Fallen here and Vex network spaces with a bunch of bosses and Vex. And clearly the Hive will feature heavily as well. Very interesting to see Destiny playing in third person here, or at least weapons in third person of course, because that isn't something we have in the full game. As the devs have said, that will be completely switchable, and at least from gameplay in first person, while of course it doesn't look identical to Destiny, it's incredibly similar. So it'll be interesting to see what the gunplay component is like. I actually don't play a ton of mobile games, so I've never used a controller on a mobile title. We see the Titan here though use that sort of Aegis shield on his back as an actual barricade, so some of the abilities in this game are going to be completely new, others will be sort of inspired by the existing title. We spot some of the foundries there as well. There's a Crux Lomar shotgun, and then the Warlock with a new sort of Void super here, which does actually look pretty cool. There's also a new Void exotic weapon, some kind of heavy launcher firing these Void projectiles, which looks pretty wild. So lots of interesting gear and gameplay by the looks of it. Again, I mean, if the game was to look anywhere near as good as this on an actual mobile device, I'd imagine you'd need a pretty powerful phone, but loads of cool environments there. And then we spot the speaker at the very end, or at least a character dressed as the speaker, this time a female character. So I'm very curious to see how much lore and story we actually get out of this in terms of the setup before the beginning of Destiny as we know it in the existing main games. So there we go guys, for now, that's what I can tell you. There is an additional sort of dev insight video, which will be going live at some point shortly. So once that gets released, I'll link it down below, but give us your thoughts on what we're seeing right here. Obviously, there's a lot that we've still got to learn. Again, I think it looks pretty impressive for a mobile game, although all trailers for any game really tend to be pretty souped up. So it'd be cool to see how this actually runs on most people's devices. I think personally, it looks like it could be a pretty fun title for a mobile game. Again, for investment, it's not clear really how much there will be. Again, it isn't clear how microtransactions will play into this. And one of the common bits of feedback from when we were able to actually look at the game early was that having a PC version could be pretty huge, but also having any kind of integration with the full Destiny title could also be interesting. Not in terms of progression, but imagine we could unlock a weapon in Destiny Rising, like the new Mythic variant, and then actually be able to earn one in the full game as a sort of crossover component. I think that would gauge a lot more interest from Destiny players in general. But for now, it's a first look at the title. And again, there'll be links down below if you want to check out where you can sign up for the alpha or find out any additional info. Give us your thoughts in the comment section, guys, but that's the video for today. I'll keep you up to date when we get additional information, so keep it locked and loaded as always. If you've enjoyed the video, a rating below very much helps us on the channel. I'm very interested to see what the broader community response will be to this announcement, so share your thoughts down below. But otherwise, cheers for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.